coincidence. There could have been a million reasons for that.
Yeah.
But it did start at Walmart. It went to Cielo Vista Mall. Shelton told us earlier that about 400 people were all ushered out of Cielo Vista Mall. They all came out with their hands up, which is very standard when you have an active shooter situation, because they don't know who the shooter is and they don't want the shooter to try and blend in with the innocent bystanders who just were going about their day. So everybody was asked to come out with their hands up, essentially cleared, and everybody was sent home. Shelton, who has been in the broadcast news business for decades, said that it is the most heavy presence of law enforcement he has ever seen in his experience as a broadcast journalist.
So we're trying to get Shelton on the phone to give us an update from his perspective. Again, he remains in the parking lot of Cielo Vista. This live picture from the Walmart showing that, still police completely surrounding that building, the scene of that horrific shooting that happened there this morning. And it looks like some people there, maybe people who were shoppers, maybe making their way toward their cars. You can imagine just the kind of lack of organization that's happening in terms of people who were there as shoppers, as police are creating, the perimeter they need, and authorities, the perimeter and the safety perimeter that they need to continue with their investigation. As we work to get Shelton on the phone, I'm going to be talking to my producer now, and Andy, I wonder if there is a way that we could, if we taped that news conference that came from Enrique about 25 minutes ago, if we could replay that. That was the briefing, the only briefing that we've had so far officially from El Paso Police, if we could perhaps re-rack that. In the interim, again, another picture there from Cielo Vista Mall, which is where, at least from what we've been told so far, where this terrible shooting perhaps came to an end with either an arrest or, again, we know that police said one person was in custody, but they didn't specify where that person was taken into custody.
It is notable, though, that this person was taken alive. So many times we see situations in which an active shooter is found to have suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound or is killed in the line of fire of police responding. This is not the case today. They are going to be able to talk to this person. I'm sure they're talking to him now to find out who this other so-called shooter may be, and if this person really exists, who it is. And also, we will have the opportunity to find out whatever sick, disturbed, deranged motive may have led to this violence this morning.
Heartbreaking image there of a little girl holding on to a loved one there. It might have been a big brother. It's hard to say, but that just gives you an idea of the humanity of this situation, right? This isn't just a number. This isn't, when we say 10 confirmed killed, these are people from our community. These are people who were doing some shopping on a very typical Saturday morning in El Paso, a hot summer morning where people were trying to get some shopping out of the way early. And then violence, chaos, and death in East El Paso.
The mayor of El Paso, Mayor DeMargo, is responding by Twitter right now with a statement saying what we've reported to you. El Paso Police Department confirming several fatalities and multiple suspects in custody is what the mayor is saying, but I am not sure if he is getting that information directly from police at this point. The area is still an active scene with El Paso Police Department, work with FBI and other law enforcement agents. We will continue to utilize all available resources to respond to the senseless act of violence. My condolences and prayers go out to all of El Paso as we mourn those impacted by this tragedy.
So, as you know, Erica mentioned how these things typically unfold, and almost always in these mass shootings, it is a lone gunman, statistically, at any rate. This is already a strange situation in the sense that, well, listen, no community ever expects this to happen. El Paso, again, being ranked consistently as one of the safest cities in the country. But to have this now confirmed from El Paso police via the mayor that there are multiple suspects in custody, this already distinguishes this incident from the other mass shootings that have plagued the country over the past several years. If there are multiple suspects in custody, this would indicate a coordinated effort, and that is incredibly unsettling. Not that a lone gunman isn't already unsettling, as someone, as again has happened in many other cities, where someone walks in with a high-powered weapon and takes many lives. But in this case, this is already such to hear that there are multiple suspects in custody, with the understanding that things can change and that sometimes people are taken into custody when they're simply, walking out, or they were maybe caught up in the net that was cast by law enforcement. But if this does turn out to be a coordinated attack, again, just even more terrifying.
So, and as we mentioned earlier, we know that all law enforcement presence in the city, state, local, and federal, are at the scene, to include Homeland Security. In the event that it is a coordinated effort of multiple people, then there would very likely be looked at as a terroristic threat, whether domestic or otherwise. Why they set up a safe house at Sunland Park Mall, we
It's
have
something
yet to
serious.
learn,
It's not a
but
joke.
it is compelling information in light of the unique components of what we are learning this morning.
If in here they're saying at least
At
10
this
dead.
point, at least 10 people are confirmed to have been killed by these people, and at least 30 who we hope will recover have been sent to hospitals. We are praying for this city, and I would say that we all should pray for these people right now. This is, as Robert said, the worst thing one of the worst things that I think this country has ever seen.
And just as a point of clarification here, again, this is some preliminary information that we're hearing from El Paso Police and the Sheriff's Office. That safe house that Erica mentioned, not at Sunland Park Mall. I think just for the sake of clarity, this is in Sunland Park. We're not exactly, again, sure what they meant by a safe house being set up in Sunland Park. But again, I think everything's on the table right now, and if this is a case of multiple shooters, and if Homeland Security is involved, that could be a point of protocol for them if they believe initially that it's a terroristic incident, which none of that has been confirmed. These are just the things that probably go into effect as a result of a chain of events. And so, again, just to clarify, nothing at Sunland Park Mall. This is the safe house at Sunland Park is what we were told.
And before we go to Shelton, just to let you know that the Governor Greg Abbott, has also issued a statement saying that all state resources, to include troopers, special agents, Texas Rangers, tactical teams, and aircraft, have been deployed to the scene in a support role. So a heavier presence of law enforcement about to descend on our city. Let's go out to Shelton Dodson, still at the scene of Cielo Vista Mall.
Robert, I will start with what you just said about the police presence. I have never seen anything like this in my 25 years of doing this. This morning, myself and about 40 of my friends were in traffic triangles. There was a memorial walk to